The flat hasn't been painted in the last 7 years. It's looking a bit tired, so we're going to be painting it ourselves. But should we? How much time, effort and money are we going to save versus hiring a pro? Well, let's find out. Hi guys, welcome back to another one. My name's Tin from Pitchbook Property. We build wealth by property investment. We find the right properties for you so you don't have to. So we're now at the flat and I've had another good look around. Some areas look fine, but some other areas do need a bit of attention. So I'm just toying up the idea of whether to paint the entire flat or just focus on the high traffic areas. Ultimately, after having gone through every single room, I think we might as well paint the entire flat. Plus, luckily, I have Jacob and Lawrence to help me out. So that is a big factor as well. So in terms of time commitment, I have factored in 2 full days for this. Now, I might end up eating my words, but I think 2 full days, 3 people, we should get the job done. The entire flat is around, I think, 700-ish square foot. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, separate kitchen, separate living room, pretty much whitewashing all the walls and including the ceilings. So hopefully I don't eat my words. So a common question that I get asked a lot by existing buyers or landlords is that after every tenancy, do you need to redecorate the flat? And the answer is, it really depends. It depends on when the last time it was redecorated and what condition it's in. Now, in this particular scenario, it hasn't been redecorated in the last 7 years, but I get it. Some landlords will look at it and think, actually, you don't need to redecorate it. Now, my rationale behind this is, I think that once it's redecorated, when the incoming tenants are moving in, at least they're moving into a nice, fresh space. So they would treat it like their own home. And in return, in my experience, they're likely to stay longer. Now, I'm not one of those landlords that just saves every single pound. I'm willing to invest in the property for a better relationship with the tenant. It means that ideally rent is on time, the tenants look after the place, which this particular tenant has after 7 years. And moving forward, it's just a stronger relationship. Okay, so we're at New Malden B&Q now. Let's get some materials. Let's get a trolley. There we go, as soon as we come in, just paint. So how much paint do we actually need? Well, in a flat like this, which is around 700-ish square foot, I estimate around 15 litres in total. Now that's for everything, including the ceiling. Right, so the flat, I believe we need around 15 litres of paint, and we'll keep it nice and simple, painting the walls white. So we need to look for some white paint. So this is pure, brilliant white walls and ceilings. Don't think we need shiny finish, so I think we're going to be going for matte. Now, because these are for the living areas, for the bathroom, we'll be going for a different type of paint for wet areas. The bathroom-specific paint would have a slight sheen or a gloss to it to be water resistant. So we'll be getting 10 litres for the living areas and the hallways and the kitchen. So for the 10 litre in the big tub, this one is £27 when compared to the 5 litre tub, and this one's at £22. So it makes economic sense to go for the big tub. Okay, I might be wrong, but I've done a similar job before in the past, and I think 15 litres was just enough. Okay, so the bathroom paint is over here, and this one is pure brilliant white. And it's always good to take note of what paint you buy, because if you have any left over, you can always keep it spare, and any touch-ups or next time it needs a coat, then you can get the exact same paint. Pure dye, pure brilliant white. That's a good point. Actually, you need to check the colour as well. Okay, so this one's the Easy Care bathroom, pure brilliant white, soft sheen for walls and ceilings, but it says protects the paint from mold for 5 years, resistant to moisture and steam. It says resistant. It's obviously not waterproof. Nothing is waterproof. So let's go for this one. This one is 2.5 litres. I think that should be fine for the 2 bathrooms. If we do need any more, then we can always come back. So in terms of the quality of the paint, because I'm not buying a high quantity, I would go for a better quality paint, for example, a branded one. I have made the mistake of doing an entire flat before using budget paint, and you can tell the difference the paint doesn't stick as well onto the surface. But then again, of course, it's subjected to the primer or how I prepped it. But again, look, I'm not a professional, I'm just a DIY painter, and we're just gonna see how much we can actually save doing this versus a pro. As an amateur painter in my career of painting flats in between tenancies or before starting a tenancy, I do have a couple of tips. The first tip is to make sure you prep the area well. So that means masking everything up, covering the floor areas, covering any furniture that you have in the room, because when the roller comes into action and you're doing it quite quick, paint splashes everywhere, and also protect your clothing as well. Okay, we're also going to need some masking tape as well, just to tape around the skirting, the doors, the light sockets, so that we don't get paint everywhere. I have made that schoolboy error before, so I'll just go for the most cost-effective one. Gold tape, that keeps paint out, keeps lines sharp. So rather than go for the green, I think I'm just going to go for the bog standard white masking tape. This one's at £12 for 3. We'll get one more just in case. So we'll get 2. The second tip that I have is painting in natural daylight. Try not to paint at night time. You'll thank me later for that. So I don't think we need anything too fancy. We can just go for some basic rollers. So what we need now are paintbrushes, rollers, and some protective film for the flooring. All right, well, here's a set of paintbrushes, and these are £11. Okay guys, so we're going to need a dust sheet of some sort for the painting, and we have opted for this one, which is 3 by 4 meters, which is at £18. I guess this is the fancy version, but you could use old curtains or any rags and just put them on the floor. But my thinking is to get this, and then we can do the living room, move this into the bedroom, into the bathroom, etc. Let's get some rollers. Okay, so we are going to be rollering the walls, like the large surface areas, otherwise it will take forever with a paintbrush. So let's grab some rollers, and we also need an extended one for the ceiling as well. So this one is roller on a pole. This one is £13.50, and this can extend from 1.3 to 2.2 meters. I mean, I'm not that tall, but I'm pretty sure this will reach the ceiling for sure. So that's okay. Okay, so let's get one of these, and we're going to need a pack of rollers. I'm sure these can then go onto here as well. So this one is £12, and then if we get one of these, this is £9.50. All I really wanted was just the handle anyway. Okay, so there'll be 3 of us painting, so let's get a few more handles. Okay, they have these fancy corner rollers, but we'll stick to the old-fashioned way of using paintbrushes. We better not get this one, otherwise it will take a long time to paint. I was buying materials for you to paint, right? I was like, wait, might as well roll that. Okay, so what we need now is just a pan so that we can put the paint on. Guys, I found a bundle, so we'll go for this one because this is at £10. It means we can put this one back. Your paint, paint brushes, floor protector. I think we are done. Let's go. 仲有冇嘢買啊? Paint for walls and like ceiling.
咁但係買定支抹油嗰啲好喎，即係萬一整到唔知邊度你買。
White spirit. 所以真係要問羅總咯。One thing we forgot, white spirit, just in case I get paint marks on the sockets or on the floor. Okay guys, so we can either go for the wipes or we can go for just the white spirit with a rag. I think that's enough. Okay guys, so white spirit, 750 milliliters, £3.50, done. 交我嚟啊，羅總，梗唔使你推啦，呢啲我推嘅嘛。Alright guys, so we also need a dust sheet for the sofa and the bed. Okay guys, so here we go. We've got some furniture dust sheets at £4.50, and this is 3 by 4 meters. We also have furniture dust sheet at 4 by 5 meters, so let's go for the bigger one. £4.50, it's definitely not worth it. Right guys, so dust sheets we will scrap, only because it's £4.50. I think in this case, bin liners would be more cost effective, but that sound really cheap. Okay guys, we're done. Let's get this paid for and go. All right guys, let's do this.
Closer, bruv.
Where?
Closer.
Oh, okay.
Lovely.
Oh, closer, bruv.
You leave it there.
Oh, you leave it? Okay, sorry. I thought you
How many items you got? 10.
Yeah, 10. I'll put these in the trolley.
How old are you, buddy?
Me? How old do you think I look?
I don't know.
39.
You don't look it.
Yeah, I'm 39. Alright, so the total cost, guys, came to £142. Okay, guys, let's go. Thank you. Thanks. Right, so now that we've got the tools, let's get this over to the flat and let's start painting. So I have had painting experience before. I've painted other properties in the past, and I know that there are certain steps you need to take. For example, the prep work. Prep work is super important, especially things like the masking tape, sanding down of the surfaces. If it's freshly plastered, then you do need primer, but in this case, it's already been painted before, so I just had to put a lick of paint on it. So this is the current state we are in at the moment, and we have just about finished masking all the areas. So this is what it's looking like right now. We've also masked the sockets as well. Not the prettiest, but it will do. So if I show you this bathroom, this is what it looks like right now. We've masked all these areas over here, just to make sure that the paint doesn't get onto the woodwork or any of the tiles or paneling. We've done that, gone all the way around at the top as well. So we're almost ready to paint. Jacob and Lawrence, on the other hand, they haven't had that much experience, and unfortunately it did show, but I was on hand to point them in the right direction and get the job done nicely. Okay guys, this is the situation right now. The living room is done. Thank you, Jacob. The walls are done. Masking tape is still there. I think the most difficult part was actually to keep everything clean, because the painting part wasn't that difficult itself. Dip the roller in the paint and start rolling, make sure it's even. So we'll just wait for it to dry, and then we'll go over the borders. And now we are moving over to the hallway. Because we're not professional painters, we kept getting paint marks everywhere. For example, on the floor, on the skirting boards, on the door frames, on ourselves, and we didn't realize. So definitely keeping the place tidy was a challenge. We did manage to get some paint marks on the floor, unfortunately, but a bit of white spirit should sort that out. Some here and some here, unfortunately. But it is important to prepare the area. We did put a dust sheet on, but it looks like it's seeped through, unfortunately. Carpet is still good though. Yeah, if you're wondering why it's dark, we had to take a bulb out from there to put it up there so we can see what we're doing. So the living room took us around 2 hours, would you say, Jacob? 2 hours?
About 2 hours.
Yeah, about 2 hours. So I'm not sure if you guys can see because of the lighting, but all the walls have been done in the hallway. Masking tape is still on all around the skirting. I've taken this part off at the door because we need to go in and out, but that part is still there, the masking, and we'll take that off once we are done, once all the paint is dried. Another tricky part was behind the kitchen cabinets right at the top, because these places tend not to be painted in full because you can't really see it. But seeing as we were painting it, we got a little bit carried away, so we tried to fill those in. Now that the living room, kitchen, 2 bedrooms and the hallway are done, we are now moving over to the bathrooms because the bathrooms use a different type of paint. So into the main bathroom first, and you can see behind me, there's quite a lot of stains. So the first thing we need to do is to brush it down, wipe it down, and prepare the area ready for painting. Rookie error, guys. I underestimated on the paint required in the bathrooms. So we're back at B&Q to get another tub of bathroom paint. So all in all, it's taken 3 full days. Now these days have been starting at 8 a.m. in the morning and finishing at 8 p.m. at night. It hasn't been easy, it's been tiring, but luckily I had Jacob and Lawrence to help me out. In terms of cost, I've spent around £200 on materials. So when putting this against how much it would cost a pro to do it, obviously I saved a lot of money, but I didn't save the time. So it just depends on what you value. If your time is more valuable, then of course get a pro to do it. I think if we got a pro to do it, they would have done everything from beginning to end in 2 days. And of course, the finishing would have been a lot better, professional level. If I was to do this again, I think I'd factor in a bit more time because this was a little bit rushed, purely because I have a deadline of when the tenant is moving in. Now, at the time of recording, the tenant's moving in tomorrow. We've got everything done, but I felt if we had a few more days, we could have taken our time a bit more. Rating this job out of 10, bearing in mind Jacob and Lawrence helped out, so I can't mark them too low because I'm really grateful for their help. I would mark this at 7 out of 10. I hope they're happy too. At the end of the day, I decided to do this paint job myself rather than to pay a pro because of the cost saving, but only because we had time as well. Now, most landlords don't want to necessarily increase their expenditure, and I get that. So with certain jobs like painting, I think we could get away with that. But qualified jobs such as plumbing or gas, you definitely need to get a qualified gas or plumber to do that. But overall, I'm really happy the way it turned out because just looking at the flat now to what it was before, it's like a blank canvas and it smells like fresh paint, and I'm sure the tenants would appreciate it. And if they have a more enjoyable time moving in and enjoying the flat in a better condition, I feel that they would take care of it a bit more. Now that the painting's been done, I can safely say I won't be in a rush to do this anytime soon, maybe in the next 7 years. It's been a challenge, it's been fun, and it's also been a learning curve as well. Would you guys paint your own rental, or would you pay a pro to do it? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, hope you found this video helpful, and we'll see you on the next one.